Welcome back, dear students and friends. We have already started with chapter number 8, Human Health and Disease, and we have discussed many topics and the diseases in this human health and disease. Students, today we have to learn the topic alcohol and drug abuse, a major problem that prevails in the society that we have to learn. That's alcohol and the drug abuse. The recent surveys and statistics says that in the society the consumption of this alcohol and drug have been increased day by day. So what happens? The alcohol and drug that is consumed by the people of the society that have very harmful effect on the society and that generates a bad society. Anyhow, we have to remove this problem from the society, and this problem can be removed by education and a proper guidance. Okay, so that's why you are learning this one. What are the ill effects or what are the harmful effects of this drugs and alcohol abuse? The commonly used drugs or the commonly used drugs for abuse purpose are, these are the commonly used drugs: opioids, second one is cocaine, third one is cannabis or cannabinoids. Okay, even some are also using this tobacco, even the alcohol. These all has very ill effect on a human being, or they have a very harmful effect on human being. Now let us one by one discuss each individual drug, what are their ill effects or what are their harmful effects on a human body. Okay, so let's start with the first. It's a opioids. Clear? You might have heard this word, opioids. Clear? These are the first category of a drug. These opioids, they are obtained from poppy plant. They are obtained from which plant? Poppy plant. So they are obtained from poppy plant. Okay? This poppy plant, in a scientific language, its biological name is Papaver somniferum. Okay, so this is a opioids. These opioids, they are obtained from the poppy plant. Biological name is Papaver somniferum. Okay, so these opioids, which are called as opioids? Opioids are the chemicals. Opioids are the chemicals that has a, or it acts on opioid receptors. They act on opioid receptors. Okay, these opioid receptors are present in central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract of human being. Where this found? They are found into a central nervous system and the gastrointestinal tract of a human being. I again repeat the first one. First one is an opioid. Opioid that is obtained from a poppy plant, Papaver somniferum. Okay, so what are called as opioids? Opioids are basically chemicals. These chemicals, they act on the opioid receptors present in a human body. Where these opioid receptors present in a human body? Say in a central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. One of the famous opioid is, you might have heard this one, heroin. Clear? This is a very famous opioid that is used as a drug, okay, or that is used as an abuse, okay, by lots of people. So this is heroin. This heroin, it is chemically it is diacetyl morphine. What it is? It is diacetyl morphine. This diacetyl morphine that is obtained by acetylation of, it is obtained by acetylation of morphine. Okay, by this chemical process that is obtained. Okay, so this is a heroin. How it's look like? You might have seen in the movies or the pictures that how it's look like, a white color powder. So it's a white crystalline bitter compound. It is white crystalline bitter compound, okay, that is obtained in the form of morphine. Then it is done acetylation, then we convert it to a diacetyl morphine, and that diacetyl morphine is called as heroin. Heroin, commonly also called as, this is the another name, a common name, it can also be called as smack. Okay, what's another name of it? It can also be called as smack. Okay, this heroin has which kind of effect? So it produces a depression action. It produces the depression action, means it slows down body functions. Okay, it depresses or slows down the various body functions. Okay, that is the effect of this heroin or opioids. Okay, so this is the first category of a drug which is commonly consumed or abused by people in the society. Okay, so I again repeat. Opioids. Opioids, they are obtained from which plant? A poppy plant. Okay. What is its biological name? Papaver somniferum. Okay. I again specify. Even in poppy plant contains a lots of part. It contains root, stem, leaf, and many things. Okay. But here that is obtained from its flowers. Okay. So you can say that opioids, they are obtained from latex. Okay. So that is obtained from the latex of poppy plant, what we call it as Papaver somniferum. What are the opioids? Opioids are the chemicals, they act on opioid receptors. Where these opioid receptors are present in our body? In central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. Okay, one of the famous opioids is a heroin. Okay, chemically it is diacetyl morphine. That means it is obtained by the acetylation of a morphine. If you see it, that heroin is a white crystalline bitter compound, also called as smack. Which kind of effect it has? It has a depression action, as well as it will slows down the body function. Okay, so that is all about the first category of a drug, opioids. Okay, now we switch over and move ahead with another category of a drug, and that is cannabinoids. So the second category of a drug is cannabinoids. So what are the cannabinoids? Cannabinoids are the compounds, or they are the chemicals. Cannabinoids are the chemicals which act on cannabinoid receptor present in our body. So where these cannabinoid receptors are present? The cannabinoid receptors, they are present into our brain. Where they are present? They are present into our brain. Okay. So what is a cannabinoid? Like opioids. Opioids are the chemicals which act on opioid receptors. Similarly, the cannabinoids are the chemicals which act on cannabinoid receptors, and these cannabinoid receptors are present in a brain. They are present in a brain. Okay. Similarly, like opioids, cannabinoid is also naturally obtained from a plant. Okay. So from which plant it is obtained? These cannabinoids, they are obtained from cannabis sativa. This is the name of a plant from which these cannabinoids are obtained. From which plant they are obtained? Cannabis sativa. Okay. So it is obtained from the cannabis sativa. From which part of a plant they are obtained? They are obtained from the inflorescence of cannabis sativa. They are obtained from the inflorescence of cannabis sativa. The cannabinoids are obtained. Okay. Next, In cannabinoids, we are using the different parts. We can use the flower tops. We can also use the leaves. We can also use the resins that is obtained from this plant, cannabis sativa. And these substances, flower tops, leaves and the resins, they are mixed in a various proportion. They are mixed in a various proportion. And we can get a lots of variety of a drug. Like here we can get marijuana or hashish, ganja, charas. These are the drugs, they are obtained by mixing the flower tops, leaves and resin in varying proportion. Okay, by mixture of these flower tops, leaves and resins in varying proportion, we can get marijuana, hashish, ganja and the charas. These are the drugs, they can be obtained. Okay, these cannabinoids, they are famous for its action on cardiovascular system. Means it has its action on the heart and its related system including blood. So they have effect on which? Cardiovascular system, and they are called as cannabinoids. What they are called? They are called as cannabinoids. Clear? So this is the second category of a student. I again repeat, what are the cannabinoids? What are the cannabinoids? Cannabinoids are the chemicals. They act on the which receptor? Cannabinoid receptors. Where these cannabinoid receptors are found? They are found in a brain. Okay. It is also obtained from a plant. It is obtained from the cannabis sativa. The inflorescence of cannabis sativa, they will give a compounds called as cannabinoids. In cannabis sativa, we use the plants, flower tops, leaves and resins. We mix in them different proportion. And when we mix them in a different proportion or varying proportion, we can obtain marijuana, hashish, ganja, charas, this kind of a drug that can be obtained. Okay, they have an effect mainly on which system? Cardiovascular system. They are known for their effects on cardiovascular system. Clear? So this is a second category of a drug, what we call it as cannabinoids. Okay, now the third category of a drug, that is cocaine, or you can also call it as coca alkaloids. Cocaine. Okay, this cocaine you can also call it as coca alkaloid. Okay, like other opioids, opioid is obtained from papaver somniferum. Cannabinoid is obtained from cannabis sativa. Similarly, the cocaine is also obtained from a plant, what we call it as erythroxylum coca. This is a name of a plant from which it is obtained. So it is obtained from erythroxylum coca, a plant. And this plant is a native to this plant is usually found into South America. Okay, it's native to South America. Okay, so this is a cocaine. Cocaine can also be called as, what are the other name of this cocaine? Cocaine can also be called as crack, or it can also be called as coke. Okay, so it can also be called as cocaine, or it can also be called as coke. Okay, so cocaine, it is also called as coca alkaloids, obtained from the plants called as a erythroxylum coca, a plant native to South America. Now, this cocaine, how they act? So it interfere with level of or levels of neurotransmitter dopamine. This is the name of neurotransmitter, dopamine. It will have interfere with, or it has an interference actions on the levels of dopamine. Okay, so the level gets altered, and so that's why it has an effect. Like the opioids, opioid has a depressant action. means it slows down the body of a function. Similarly, the cannabinoids also has a depressant functions. But this cocaine, they have stimulant action. So they are CNS stimulants. They are the CNS stimulant. They stimulates the central nervous system. Okay, that means the brain gets a stimulates and they are responsible for a kind of euphoria, and that leads to a increased energy. The energy level gets increased. Why the energy level gets increased or the euphoria like condition that is produced? Because they are primarily CNS stimulants. Okay, but when they are taken in high proportion or high amount, this high amount of this cocaine, it may leads to a hallucination. It may leads to a hallucination, means a dream-like state that is observed or felt when it is taken into a high amount. Okay, so this is a cocaine. Many times nowadays the sports person, they are misuse it. So it's misused by some sports person because they are responsible for increased energy and the euphoria, the stimulate. So they have a very high power while playing a game. Okay, so that's why the sports persons are using, or you can say misused, because it's a habit forming drug and it has a very harmful effect in our body because it interferes with the level of neurotransmitter dopamine. Okay, so this is about a cocaine. I again repeat, a cocaine can also be called as coca alkaloids, that is obtained from the erythroxylum coca. This is a plant that is native to South America. Cocaine can also be called as crack or coke. How it functions? The cocaine, it interferes with the level of neurotransmitter dopamine. This is N, dopamine. Okay, what is its effect? They are a CNS stimulant, so they are responsible for euphoria and increased energy. Okay, but when they are consumed in a high amount, then it is responsible for hallucination, a dream-like state. Okay, and as it is a CNS stimulant, increases the energy and the power, they are misused by some sports person. Okay, so that is the third category of a drug, that is cocaine. So till now we have discussed opioids. Okay, we have also discussed the cannabinoids, and we have also discussed the this is cocaine. Now let's see how these drugs are taken or usually they are consumed. Remember how these drugs are going to be consumed or how they are taken. You might have seen in some movies how this drug has been taken. Start with opioids. Opioids, they are consumed by two ways. First one is called as snorting, and the second one is it's through called as injection. Okay, you might have seen in movies, okay, that people are taking the drugs through a snorting. Snorting means they are forming you can say a tube, and through which they inhale. Okay, like this. Okay, this is called as a snorting. Or they take it in the form of injections. They directly inject. So these opioids are taken by snorting or injections. Okay. The second category, that what we call it as cannabinoids. Cannabinoids, they can be taken by inhalation, or they can be taken by oral ingestion. Like that means how we take a food, by this way they take it. That is oral ingestion. Third is a cocaine or coca alkaloids. These coca alkaloids, they are obtained or they can be taken by snorting. Okay, now you already know the meaning of snorting. Clear how these drugs are usually consumed. Opioids, they are consumed by snorting and injections. Cannabinoids, they are taken by inhalation and oral ingestion. And cocaine, that is obtained by snorting. Okay, so this is a variety of routes for consuming or abusing a drug. Okay, so these are the main three category of a drugs. But apart from that, there are also certain medications or medicines which can also be abused. Okay, so which are the medicines that can be abused? The first one is barbiturate. The second one is, it's called as benzodiazepine. Okay, third one, it's called as amphetamine. The fourth one, it's called as morphine. These are the few examples. There are many lots, but you have to learn at least this. These are the medications, these are the medicines. Okay, these are the medicines which are commonly used for a mental illness. They are used in mental illness. Like mental illness, they can also be they are used in depression, psychosis, or you can say insomnia. Insomnia means sleeplessness. A person doesn't feel sleepy. This is called as insomnia. So these are the drugs which are used in a certain mental illness like depression and insomnia. Barbiturate, benzodiazepine, amphetamine and morphine. More specifically, I say that this barbiturate and benzodiazepines, they are the sedatives and hypnotics. Means they promote a sleep. They increases the sleep. Okay. Amphetamine, it is a CNS stimulant. And this morphine, it is a painkiller, a very good painkiller, and it can also be used as a sedative. So many times this is a drug which is morphine, that is a drug that is given to a patients who undergo a surgery. Because when a person undergoes a surgery, a lots of pain associated with surgery. When there is an incision, okay, when there is a cut, okay, obviously there is a lots of pain is associated with it, and that can be removed sometime by a morphine, because the morphine is a very good painkiller and it is acting as a sedative. Okay, so these are the drug actually made for some diseases or the illness that exist in our body. But when this drug they are consumed in high amount, they may produce some disturbance in physical or physiological or psychological functions or behavior of a person. Okay, so thus they can also be abused. Okay, so this is when they are given in a high amount or where they are given in a high frequency. Suppose a drug has to be taken, this medicine has to be taken once a day. In a day it has to be taken once a day or two times a day, as the doctor says. But instead of 1 a day or 2 a day, when a person is taking for 4 times a day, 5 times a day, and then also it is considered as a drug abuse. Because it has a power to depress the central nervous system. Okay, so this can also be used, these medicines can also be used as a drug abuse. Barbiturate, benzodiazepine, amphetamine and morphine. Okay, barbiturate and benzodiazepines are the sedatives. They increases the sleep duration and sleep pattern. Amphetamine is a CNS stimulant. Morphine is painkiller and sedatives. But when they are consumed in a high amount, they may alter or change a physical, physiological or psychological functions of a human being, and that may alter body functions. Clear? So that is about the other drugs. Okay, so we have discussed the opioids, we have also discussed the, you can say that the cannabinoids, we have also discussed cocaine, and we have also discussed a few other medicines that can also be used as a drug abuse. Okay. Now the last category of a drug which can be abused, and that is, you know it very well, and that is tobacco. Okay, tobacco is now, the use of this tobacco is now rising in our society. This tobacco can be consumed in various forms. either in chewing or it is in form of smoking, or it can also be used as a snuff. The older people, they are using in the form of a snuff. Okay, chikni kahiye છે આપણે, બરાબર છે. So this tobacco has been consumed either in form of chewing like gutka and masala, etc., smoking like in the form of cigarettes and bidis, and snuff. Okay, they are will be consumed. This is what we call it as tobacco. But this tobacco is also harmful to our body, because this tobacco, they act on adrenal gland. Okay, how it acts on adrenal gland? Because this tobacco, it contains a lots of chemicals, but one of the most important chemical that is found in a tobacco is a nicotine. This nicotine has an action on adrenal gland, means it promotes or stimulates adrenal gland. From this adrenal gland, what is released? It leads to a release of two hormones, adrenaline and noradrenaline. These are the two hormones. They are going to be released from adrenal gland when it gets stimulated. Now you know the function of this adrenaline and noradrenaline. This adrenaline and noradrenaline, they increases a blood pressure, and they also increases heart rate. So ultimately, the nicotine that is present in the tobacco, it increases the blood pressure and increases the heart rate. Means it has an effect on cardiovascular system, or it has a damaging actions on the cardiovascular system. Clear? So this is the first harmful effect of this tobacco. The second harmful effect of this tobacco is that it can also responsible for, it has lots of chemicals. So these chemicals are responsible for variety of diseases. Lots of diseases can be caused by this tobacco. And which are the diseases it can cause? It can cause cancer. Okay, it can cause bronchitis. It can cause emphysema. So these are the disorders that can be caused by this tobacco. That means it is a harmful. Okay. When this tobacco that is consumed in form of a smoking, when it is consumed in the form of a smoking, so what happens? When the tobacco is smoked, okay, that will lead to a generation of carbon monoxide. Okay, it will generates a carbon monoxide, CO. So the level of CO or carbon monoxide increases in blood. When the level of carbon monoxide increases in blood, it decreases oxygen level in blood, or oxygen saturation in blood gets decreased. Okay, and so the different organs, they receive a less amount of oxygen, and when they receive a less amount of oxygen, obviously the complication starts. Okay, even when it is consumed in the form of a chewing, right over here, chewing, okay, that may cause a mouth cancer. When it is consumed, you can say that orally or in the chewing form, it causes a mouth cancer. Okay, so this is a effect of tobacco on our body. Okay, so tobacco, it is consumed in the form of either chewing like gutka, or you can say pan masala, smoking like bidi cigarettes, or it can be consumed in the form of a snuff. Okay, tobacco contains active ingredient. The main ingredient is a nicotine. Nicotine, it acts on an adrenal gland, stimulate adrenal gland, and increases the secretion of adrenaline and noradrenaline, which increases the blood pressure and increases the heart rate. It is also responsible for causing the diseases like cancer, bronchitis, emphysema, etc. When it is consumed in the form of smoking, the level of carbon monoxide in the blood gets increased, and so that decreases the oxygen level in the blood, and so that's why the different organs receives a less amount of oxygen. Okay, and thus this tobacco can also be considered as hard drug which we are consuming since last 400 years. So okay students, today we have discussed the drugs which can be abused. Okay, which are the drugs we have discussed today? Opioids, cannabinoids, we also discussed cocaine, barbiturates, benzodiazepines, morphine, and we have discussed the tobacco. Okay, now in the next session we will learn that how these drugs that is going to be consumed by a people. What is something that is present in that drug or these drugs that leads to a consumption or abuse by a drug? Okay, that should be something, or that should they have some kind of a property. Okay, that what we call is a dependent property. The person who are addicted to this drug, they need this in anyhow conditions. So how the person starts consuming and what that leads to a continuation of consumption of these drugs. Okay, so that we will discuss in the next session. So till then, keep learning, keep watching, like and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.